when you start the camera and you just look at a person that doesn't even look like yourself anymore. The way I've lost myself to motherhood is not even a fucking joke anymore.
Not only have you lost yourself to motherhood, you lost yourself within that man, honey. Alright, y'all. Today we're going to be talking about the Resilient Jenkins family, y'all. If y'all don't know who the Resilient Jenkins is, that's basically like the last couple I talked about, Jarnell and Brianna, living in a motel. But they have kids, y'all. So it makes it even 10 times worse. We're going to do a little dive on them, but first let me put my disclaimer.
Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
I do want to say this video is to not tarnish anyone's name. It's just to give my opinion on things that they have made public.
I don't know what the fuck I would even start to wear if I started to change up my style, or if I wanted to wear makeup. Like, honestly, would I go darker with the makeup? Would I go like colorful? Who the fuck knows? Because I just haven't been able to put that kind of effort into myself in fucking years. And
she's talking about putting in work on herself, but she needs to be putting work into finding her and her kids a home. They're living in a motel room, and it's like 5 kids living in this motel room. Correct me if I'm wrong, including their baby Momo. Like, it's insane, y'all. And I'm going to show y'all a video of their hotel room. Hold on.
And give us a little bit more space. Quick Google search of this place will show you what the inside of these bedrooms look like. Motel rooms, my bad. Now this one that we're moving into, it has a full-size couch that pops into a queen-size bed, a bunk bed, and then the bed is a queen-size bed, not a full. And of course, we're going to move the bassinet over as well. So if you can do the math, that's more than enough bedding for everybody. So this one comes with a full-size fridge. The bathroom is separate from what we're going to be using as our kitchen area. No more toothbrushes right by the cooking area. Definitely going to be a little more comfortable while we're here. I'm going to be brave and show some of the clips of the process. Because while having a village is ideal, it's just Drew and I who do everything.
Now, this is a question to all the mothers and the fathers out there. Do y'all feel like that's enough space for like 5 kids to be living in and the baby plus 2 grown adults? Give me an answer down below, y'all.
And she's just not about it. So when she's up and she wants attention, she wants to be held, and she wants to be held a certain way, which generally means I can't do as much with my hands as I want to. I'm not gonna lie, there's times that does get quickly overstimulated. And I turn around and look at my toddler, who's nearly half my size, and I realize time just goes way too fast with these babies. Even though the process isn't getting done quite like I would like it to, it's gonna get...
Even after they moved all their things in, you see how clearly that space got so much smaller. My question to Drew and Stephanie is, do y'all think this is okay?
It's difficult because when I pull up a video and I try to like start talking to y'all, it's like, who the fuck even is that lady? Doesn't feel like me. But I digress. Tell me, it just made no sense to me. I'm like, if this is how it's gonna be go down when you take care of the kids, why the fuck am I not the one working? Currently, it's because he makes more money than I would be able to make starting any kind of entry job, because I haven't been in the work field for a while. Really, the only thing I could go back with some kind of experience is caregiving.
So Stephanie was basically talking about how she felt like she should be the one working since Drew can take care of the kids so well, even though he really can't, and it's just all a show for the internet. She was talking about how he would make more than her, which is kind of confusing because there was this point where Drew was only door dashing because he wanted to not pay child support for his other 2 kids that he have with another lady. So it's so confusing when she say, oh yeah, he's working and he's making more than me. No, I'm not gonna lie. Working as a caregiver, I don't know if she means like home health aide or CNA. Don't want to assume, but I know, for instance, as a CNA, where I live, the starting rate overnight, like if you work overnight, is like $21 an hour. So I feel like that's pretty good considering. But maybe she should have talked to Drew about getting another job. It's due to him only working that one job that he works.
Stephanie, Tea Time caught this on her live this morning.
But it needs to be reported to the court. He has court tomorrow. This is insane. And they've been literally posting him for over a month.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. She only has 4 kids living with her. 4. Because she no longer can see... Well, she no longer can post the other 2. But I think the other 2 still comes, like, over here and there. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. It's so confusing on how many kids she has in this house. I just know it's a lot of kids. And before, when I seen her, it was like 6 of them. So, this is Drew. He has custody, or he did have custody of 2 of his kids. I know they're going to court and shit now for the kids. But basically, he had 2 of his kids. And they're not supposed to be on camera. So, what you're about to hear and what you're about to see is basically Stephanie's daughters questioning her on why she's still taking photos and videos of Drew's 2 kids.
This is a sprinkle. Why do you get gay on the video, Mom? You're making a video. You're not allowed to have it. Because I'm allowed to have them on my memories. What, I want no pictures and videos of Deshaun for Christmas? No, that's ridiculous. You do want pictures of no, I don't squish so hard. Okay, do I just...
Once again, Stephanie gets absolutely clocked by Addie and Bella.
Which is true. Her daughters are always clocking her tea. All the kids is clocking their tea, to be honest. And that's why I feel like she has so much anger towards them, which is crazy. Next, I want to talk about their baby, Momo is what they call her. She is having seizures, y'all. And a lot of people assume, and I'm saying assume because I don't want to put any rumors on nobody or whatever, but they say that it's because she was knocked off the bed and she fell and hit her head or whatever, something like that. But let me show y'all the clip.
Toddlers are so violent. Oh, bro, Atlas kicked Manova off the bed the other day.
So as you can see, Drew just admitted that Momo was kicked off the bed, but then they try to change their tune and make it seem like, no, she never fell off the bed, da-da-da-da-da. But then one of the daughters actually was on, well, you could hear her in the background of Drew's live saying, yeah, she fell off the bed, dude.
She went to the hospital on Tuesday as well. No, she's not falling off the couch. There's no thuds. There's none of that.
She fell off the bed yesterday.
Hey.
And he was so quick to mute his mic so he could basically give them a little talking to about not talking during his live because she told the truth. Drew, you even said in a couple videos ago that Momo fell off the bed, but now they're trying to change their tune and don't want everybody to know, but we already know, you guys. So a lot of people believe that is the causes for Momo's seizures, and those frequent seizures is because she has maybe like some head trauma or something going on up there. I'm not sure, you guys. Don't give me the line. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Now, a lot of you guys would probably be like, oh, why don't Stephanie ask for help? Why don't she go to her mother, her sister, her daddy, her uncle, whoever to help her? It's because Stephanie has burned down all her bridges with all her family. So has Drew. So it's like now they kind of just gotta thug it out, I guess. But we're going to be hearing from Stephanie's mom. So y'all stay tuned right now.
Stephanie gets herself in these relationships and she becomes a different person. This isn't my daughter. This is not the person I raised. This is not her. Who she is right now is not her. And it's when she gets in this, she loses herself in these relationships because she's with men who are controlling, dominating, abusive, and that's what they do is they cut their family out of their lives because they want to make her world so small. And
I see where her mother is coming from, and I totally agree. I know some girls like that will give their all to this relationship, and they would cut off friendships, family, hell, they'll even cut off their dog too if they got to, just so they can be with this man, y'all. And that is what Stephanie did, you guys, and it's so crazy that she allowed her girls to go through this type of situation just so she could be with this man. It's never that serious for a man. He's never that serious.
They want to make sure that she doesn't have someone she can run to for help, that she's stuck. Her first husband, that was a situation where she met this person. He had told her, that he was a registered, and see, I'm afraid to say those words on TikTok, but we know. He was a registered, and he told her that all that stuff was stuff he'd been accused of, but nobody could really prove. And that he comes from a really, really large family. And it was my brother who did that to my mom, but he'd already been in trouble with the law. So my mom decided to make it me because I wouldn't get in as much trouble. And there was just this list of excuses. And she bought it. Jeremiah Christian Thompson, if you want to know. And
the fact that you actually bought that lie, Stephanie, just shows how gullible and how narrow-minded you are. And I'm trying to say narrow-minded because I don't want to call her stupid or anything, but dude, who believes some shit like that? Let's be honest. I don't know. Maybe she's looking for love, but looking for love in all of the wrong places because this is not it. This is not the way love's supposed to feel or supposed to be.
When she first brought him to my house for me to meet him, they'd been together for about 3 months before she brought him over to meet me. And what really pissed me off is that she brings him to my house. Her brothers at that time were 7 and 8. And you know the age of the child he's been with. She didn't tell me that this man had this about him. And she brought him to my home with her younger brothers. So that was the beginning of this really hostile relationship between me and Stephanie and Jeremiah. And I told Stephanie, I said, I don't believe that you're going to be with this guy. And then they ended up getting married. And then at this point, I had moved to California, and I was living in California when she got pregnant, but I could not believe she would be giving him a child. I tried really hard. I came up from California to be here when the baby was born, and there was a lot of things going on in the hospital room that really made him angry that I got involved, that Stephanie wanted things done a certain way, and he kept telling her, no, we're going to do it this way. And I'm like, for God's sake, she's the one having a child here. Why don't you just back off?
So it seems like, and yes, I'm saying seems like, that Stephanie actually had a pretty good home and a pretty good, foundation and family who's going to look out for her. But the fact that she chooses men over her family is insane. I don't get me wrong. I know when people get married, they'll be like, okay, yeah, well, my wife, that's my family right now. And my husband, that's my family right now. But considering their mom seemed like she always was there for them. By them, I mean Stephanie and her sister. It shouldn't be like, I don't want to talk to my mom because I wanted this man. It's so weird.
And so he used that to tell Stephanie that I wasn't a good person to be in her life anymore. And that began Stephanie and I not talking during that marriage. And all of a sudden, she had trauma from me. That's when she started bringing all this up. All this trauma she's had and all this abuse, almost as if she has to use that to justify the fact that she doesn't want me in her life, but it's because the person she's with doesn't want me in her life. And now we're seeing it all over again with Drew, where it was a very subtle but gradual process that happened, and all of a sudden she's cutting me out of her life, but she's saying I cut her out of my life. It's the other way around.
Since we're talking about the Jeremiah situation, to your knowledge, though, you don't believe that he had done anything to the girls, right?
The grooming behavior was there with the older child.
I'm not gonna lie, any real parent or any real mom, any real dad will never allow this shit to go on. I'm not even gonna hold you. I believe most parents want the best for their kids. They want them to have a decent leaving situation and also, the best education and shit like that. And I don't know, considering how much money they make, and yes, I'm thinking that they're making money off of here, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, any social media platforms they have, you're making some type of money, not to mention Drew works. So you can't even tell me that you can't get on Section 8. You can't get on any type of housing type of thing. I'm not understanding on why they can't make a bigger space for their kids, because having them all grow up in that one room is insane. That's not enough space for your kids to grow and nourish. And y'all, let me know y'all thoughts down in the comments. How are y'all feeling about this situation? Let me know.